Hey, comic book movie fatigue got you down? Well, apparently you're not alone. A lot of them have underperformed this year. But I got just the solution for you, a video about an obscure, low-budget one from the 90s. Alright, before I talk about the movie, I should probably give a little backstory on the character. Co-created by Famous Monsters of Filmland publisher Forrest J. Ackerman, Vampirella debuted all the way back in 1969 in comics originally published by Warren, and despite changing owners over the years, has appeared pretty consistently since then. Despite the character's longevity, though, Vampirella is mainly known for costume, or rather, her lack of one. Basically, just take a Borat bikini and put it on Elvira, and boom, you've got Vampirella. Even though it took until 1996 for her to get her own movie, development of a Vampirella film goes back pretty far. In the 70s, Hammer was interested in making a Vampirella movie, which at one point was going to star Caroline Munro in the title role, and I really wish I could be reviewing that right now. Eventually, the rights landed in the hands of B-movie super producer Roger Corman and director Jim Wynorski, and if you know anything about Wynorski's other movies, who better to make a movie about a character whose costume consists of a collar and some strips of red dental floss? Rather than going direct to video, this one debuted on TV as part of Showtime's Roger Corman Presents series, which also included Black Scorpion, so there's another superhero with a skimpy costume. Considering we live in a time when even movies with third-string comic book characters have gazillion-dollar budgets, it's kinda interesting to go back to a time when everyone except Superman and Batman just got movies like this. So anyway, we begin thousands of years ago on the planet Draculon, because come on, where did you think Vampirella was from? Planet Frankenberry? Vampirella, or just Ella as she's known here, is played by Talisa Soto, who you may remember as Princess Katana from the Mortal Kombat movies. Now fair warning, this movie is not as good as Mortal Kombat, but it's maybe better than Mortal Kombat Annihilation. And wait a second, is that Angus Scrimm playing her dad? Damn, no wonder Vampirella's a badass. She's got those tall man genes.
I've raised you well, stepdaughter.
Oh, okay, stepdaughter. Never mind then. Anyway, the story is here on Draculon. People drink blood that flows from rivers. Not really sure how that works, unless this is some kind of living planet. However, a cult has emerged that drinks blood from other people, led by Vlad, played by Roger Daltrey, who's currently on trial for— wait, what the fuck? Roger Daltrey? Is in Roger Daltrey from The Who? Is in this Roger Daltrey?
Right behind you, I'll see the mirror on you, I'll see the body.
What the hell is he doing in this movie? Come on, Roger, you were in Listomania. Yeah, that's another one I need to get to one of these days. Fun fact, apparently Roger took this role because Who drummer Keith Moon was a big fan of Vampirella, although considering Moon had already been dead for years when this came out, he probably could have just turned it down. And if you're wondering what his performance in this movie's like—
Relax, gentlemen.
he is in full rockstar ham mode. Alright, let's get this trial underway. You're charged with the crime of drinking people's blood and recording Can't Wait to See the Movie. Unfortunately, the security in this place sucks and some of Vlad's followers bust him out. And not only does Vlad drink people's blood, he also chews the scenery like a motherfucker. See, even his jumps are flamboyant. Alright, time to grab a quick bite and get the hell off this planet. By the way, most of the effects footage here is from other Roger Corman produced movies, a couple of which I've already covered on this channel. Vlad and his crew make their way to Earth while Vampirella swears revenge. Nobody kills the tall man, damn it! Cut to the present day and we're introduced to another one of our heroes, Adam Van Helsing, because fuck it, we already had a planet called Draculon in this movie. Adam works for a covert organization called Purge that hunts vampires.
How'd it go in Chinatown?
False alarm. Another schizophrenic with delusional fantasies.
Don't worry though, I still staked him just to be sure. Apparently Vampirella took her sweet time getting to Earth. These guys only find out about her when they switch on the Director Cameo News Network and see a shuttle landing after a Mars mission.
What's that flying out of the shuttle's open doorway? A smudge?
No, I don't know, it could be the Loch Ness Monster.
Tell me I'm dreaming. Vampires from space.
Nah, man, they're real. I've seen them. And believe it or not, some of them wear even less clothes than Vampy does. Alright, it's a 90s low-budget comic book movie, which means we need a scene where somebody gets mugged in an alleyway.
How the hell do you expect me to do my graphics with this piece of crap, huh?
Hey man, this thing will run Quake, I swear. At this point, we get our first look at Vampirella in costume, which is not as revealing as her comic book one. What's even weirder about this is there's promo stills of Talisa Soto wearing a costume that's more accurate to the comic, but she never wears it in the movie. I guess that makes sense. Wearing a costume like she has in the comics probably would have broken the movie's double-sided tape budget.
You don't want to mess with us, Miss TNA.
Oh yeah, that's another thing about Vampirella's look in this movie. Listen, don't get me wrong, Talisa Soto's beautiful, but she doesn't really have the, assets required to play Vampirella. Wynorski apparently agreed since he originally wanted Julie Strain to play the role, and yeah, I can see that working out.
Gee, thanks. What's your name?
Ella.
No, that's not a very good name for a superhero. How about, Nosferella? And if you're wondering who this nerd is...
My name's Fori. Fori Ackerman.
Oh yeah, that's subtle. What was the original name for this character? Guy Who Created You? This guy must be excited. He got a Vampirella cosplayer to come back to his place. That's the sort of thing nerds only dream of. At least this nerd serves some kind of a purpose. Not only does he help Vampirella find one of Vlad's goons, but he also names her.
Vampire girl. Vampirella.
Title drop. Meanwhile, in Brazil, a crime boss meets with some more of Vlad's goons, who look like either really modest gimps or a German industrial band. Possibly both. I'm not sure what this meeting's about, but I think these guys are pissed about losing a poker game. And apparently that guy's half dog.
To hell with you, demons! To hell with you!
Okay, come on, dude. We've already got Roger Daltrey. That's enough scenery chewing for one movie. Thank God some purge agents arrive and put a stop to this. Oh, right, Vampirella. She found another of Vlad's goons as a professor at Berkeley, who by the looks of it teaches Wall Street douchebaggery 101. And good news, pal, your escort just got here.
My stepfather was the High Elder of Draculon. You and your people murdered him.
I remember. I'm sorry.
Okay, an apology is all I wanted. I'll be on my way now. Nah, just kidding. Of course they fight. One upside to Vampirella's costume, it doesn't restrict her movements. On the downside, there's not a lot of places to carry a stake. Okay, guess she doesn't need one. One accessory her costume does have, though. She has some handy blood vials for when she needs a little pick-me-up. I hear the director has a ring for when he needs that. And here's a surprise, on Earth, Roger Daltrey's a rock star. Well, sorta. Apparently he's not very popular since the organization looking for him has no idea who he is.
We know a lot about Vlad. What we don't know is his current identity and location.
Well, that's your fault, because apparently he's a public figure.
Where is he operating? Vegas! He's in Vegas!
And he's got a residency in Las Vegas, too? How the hell are these guys not able to find him? Who's the other big vampire they're looking for, Elton John? Well, now that we know Vlad's secret identity is a rock star, let's see what his music's like.
Come on, please, follow me. Come on to me, come on to me.
No one knows what it's like to be the bad man.
Well, say what you want about Vlad's music, the guy really knows how to clear a room fast. And come on, Forrest J. Ackerman, we already had a character named after you in this movie. We get it, you helped create Vampirella. Well, now that his show's over, Vlad can now do what all rock stars do after a gig. Try and pick up chicks that are too young for him.
Where have you been all my life?
Looking for you.
Well, now that you found me, you're gonna bleed for me.
Hey, ever wanted to see the Asylum make a mockbuster of Interview with the Vampire? Well, this is probably as close as you'll ever get. They probably could have even got Roger Daltrey to be in it. Which is weird because he's Roger fucking Daltrey. He's one of the biggest rock stars of all time. I mean, like, fame-wise, he's one of the biggest. Well, even if Vlad looks like one of Jim and the Holograms went goth, he still gets the ladies. Time to suck some face and then some blood. Yeah, thanks a lot, Van Cockblock.
You bitch! You set me up!
Whoa, easy there, Vlad. You're played by Roger Daltrey, not Ike Turner. Well, Van Helsing's finally captured Vlad, and sure, might as well take Vampirella too, I guess. She is supposed to be the hero, after all, but even though Vlad's been handcuffed, there is no caging the ham.
Let's face it, compared with you people, I am a god!
On stage? Sure. In this movie? And what the hell are they doing with Vampirella?
Why don't you head on up front? I want to interrogate our little lady friend here in private.
And remember, if the Vans are rockin', I'm just trying to get her a-talkin', okay? And wait, don't vampires have other powers like hypnosis and stuff? See, this is why you should have blindfolded Vlad. Nobody could possibly stand up to a gaze like that. Not only can Vlad hypnotize people, he also has the power to speed up the film.
At the risk of sounding egotistical, I am stronger than anyone.
Yeah, well, you weren't the one in the band named Ox. I'm just saying. One thing's for sure, Vampirella's overacting powers are no match for Vlad's.
I am Vlad! Dracula Eternal! I will engulf you, body and soul, in my own time.
Well, now that Vampy's rescued Van Helsing, now she can fill him in on more of her backstory. For example, she explains that blood jello shot she did earlier.
I've microsized a lifetime supply and attached it to this armband.
Okay, considering vampires are supposed to live forever, I don't know if that's enough for a lifetime. It's probably not even enough to sustain her through the Roger Corman movie stock footage. Oh, by the way, you're probably wondering if Vlad reached Earth thousands of years ago, what the hell took Vampirella so long to get here? Well, turns out she got waylaid on Mars and had to wait in suspended animation until she was picked up by some astronauts, one of whom is played by John Landis? Okay, good thing they took a space shuttle and not a helicopter.
Did you ever see It, the Terror from Beyond Space?
No, but I've seen Queen of Blood. Does that have anything to do with our present situation? By the way, between the stasis tube, the space shuttle, and Vampy hypnotizing the crew, this really is getting a lot like Life Force. Don't expect Talisa Soto to get naked, though. In fact, she seems to be covering up more and more now. Meanwhile, Vlad's made his base in some Nevada Wild West reenactment town, and by the looks of it, he's stored enough alcohol here to make it through an entire Wynorski movie marathon. Speaking of which, I just realized we're now halfway through and so far there hasn't been any nudity yet. And this is a Vampirella movie directed by Jim Wynorski. What the hell's going on here? Hey, there we go. Now, if you were wondering what the purpose of that scene is, we were halfway through and there hadn't been any tits yet.
What's wrong?
Let's just say it's been a difficult night. My cover is blown.
Well, Vlad, if you want to keep a low profile, maybe don't make your secret identity a rock star. What was your backup plan for avoiding detection? Running for president? Meanwhile, Van Helsing takes Vampy to purge headquarters.
Adam tells me you're an ET.
Well, more like a space girl, but the principle's the same. Vampirella explains that prolonged exposure to Earth's atmosphere mutated Vlad and his crew, giving them traditional vampire weaknesses and the ability to make other vampires that Vampy doesn't have.
Something in your atmosphere caused irreversible metabolic changes in them. Their bite infects rather than kills, transforming their victims into one of them. These are not Draculonian traits.
You know, I gotta admit, as goofy as the whole space vampire thing is, this isn't bad vampire lore. It's kind of like putting a twist on the whole Superman thing, except, you know, Earth's sun kills them instead of making them stronger. And going by Blade lore, crosses don't do shit, at least to Vampirella, but they do have a UV gun.
Harmless to humans, of course.
I'm sure if you use it enough, you could give somebody melanoma. And here's another special weapon they have, a stake gun. Although considering how tiny these are, it's more like a toothpick gun. Also, while on the road looking for Vlad, Adam explains to Vampirella that Vlad bit his father, turning him into a vampire, and also William Hurt apparently, forcing Adam to kill him. Well, that sucks. If only there was a way for Vampy to make him feel better.
Things are moving a little too fast. I better get going.
Jeez, way to blow a great opportunity when it's right in front of you, Adam. As if that wasn't bad enough. When Adam gets back to his room, the Wynorski silicone vampire squad knocks him out and kidnaps him. As a result, Vlad asks for a prisoner swap, Van Helsing in exchange for... that one leather daddy vampire they captured earlier.
Demos!
Yeah, that guy. They also want Vampy to go with. I'm sure this definitely isn't a trap.
Adam?
I'm all right. I'm not hurt.
Yeah, I've just been doing a lot of horse tranquilizer, but other than that, I'm fine.
Something doesn't seem right here.
You okay?
Yeah, it's nothing serious. Just my ego's been hurt. I thought I'd never see you again.
You're crazy now.
Oh, what a surprise. It was a trap. Alright, you know what? Screw the subtle approach and just go in blasting. After all, with Roger Daltrey as the villain, there's no room for subtlety here.
You didn't crack, did you?
Did you? No!
See? Told you. Anyway, regarding Vlad's grand plan, he wants to sacrifice 12 vampires to summon the blood god La Magra, which will enable him to take over the world and... Oh, wait, sorry, my mistake. That's the villain's plan from Blade. Instead, Vlad plans to use some Battle Beyond the Stars stock footage satellites to block out the sun, thus enabling vampires to overrun the world. And I hate to break it to you, pal, but I don't think Jesus is gonna save you either, even if he is a vampire hunter.
Lord, it's hard for me to ask for help. Please, God, give us a hand.
Look, dude, you're in a Vampirella movie produced by Roger Corman and directed by Jim Wynorski. We don't need any religious stuff here. What we do need is more boobs. We're over an hour in, and so far this has got to be a career low for Wynorski. And in a Vampirella movie of all things. Talisa Soto in this outfit is about the best you're gonna get from here on out. Speaking of outfits, it looks like Vlad just raided Rob Halford's wardrobe. Oh, and get ready for a last-minute plot revelation. Sorta.
She's a barbarian infant in the Kulai Wastelands, a region not far from my own birthplace.
What are you saying? That we're related somehow?
Okay, I swear to God, if it turns out Vlad is actually Vampirella's real father, I'm gonna lose it. Plus, it makes all their previous scenes together really creepy. Nah, instead he mentions something about them sharing the same soul or something. I don't know, it's not like this is important later or anything, so who cares? And like any good comic book villain, instead of killing her, Vlad just takes her blood supply and leaves Vampirella with Adam. Excellent. Soon my plan will be carried out in just enough time for Vampirella to escape and stop me. In the meantime, I think I'll film a guest role for Sliders. Well, even though Vlad took her blood capsules, they said that was enough to last a lifetime, and we already saw her chug one earlier, so she should be good for a while, right?
Even now, I can hear the blood pumping through your veins. I can smell it. I can taste it.
Okay, I guess a lifetime is a lot shorter than I thought.
You'll die after 24 hours if you haven't been refreshed with blood.
At least I'll die a friend.
A friend? Oh man, I told you should have taken your shot back at the hotel. You really screwed up there, Adam. Oh well, I guess you could technically still do it now. Now, I've been making some jokes comparing this to Blade, but there is one part here that does remind me a lot of Blade. Because her serum's gone, Adam has Vampirella take just enough of his blood to recover without killing him, which is weirdly similar to a scene in Blade, even though this movie came out 2 years before. Well, there's a twist. Normally Roger Corman flicks are supposed to cash in on popular movies, not influence them. Good news, Vampirella got enough blood to regain her strength. Bad news, Adam lost so much he can't fuck her now. Again, should have taken your shot earlier, bro. Even more good news, not only has the cavalry just arrived, but shooting Vlad's control panel also makes the satellites just disappear. And you know the rules of storytelling. If you introduce a sun gun in the first act, you damn well better use it in the third. Okay, admittedly that's not the best effect, but then again neither were the CGI skeletons in Blade, so I guess I can forgive it. Those bat transformation effects are pretty bad, though. The worst part is, they don't even really turn into bats, they're more like weird smudges.
Maybe I'm seeing bats in my sleep, but if that's a smudge, I'm Peter Pan.
Well, I guess you're Peter Pan then, because that's a fucking smudge. Anyway, Vampirella follows Vlad all the way to the Hoover Dam, because hey, when you're shooting in Nevada, you gotta make use of some locations. And we get to see Roger Daltrey run around in a Spirit Halloween Dracula cape.
Hey, the tour left half.
Alright, time for the big climactic fight scene between Vampy and Vlad. Let's see what you got, movie. Okay, so the finale of this movie has Roger Daltrey from The Who running around in a Dracula costume on the Hoover Dam, fighting Talisa Soto, or at least her stunt double. I have a feeling that's not her in a lot of these shots. All while sound effects that sound like they're from an old kung fu movie play. You know, I've been doing this show for a while now, and just when it starts getting to the point where I think I've seen it all, sometimes shit still surprises me. And if you think that's ridiculous, just wait until you see how it ends. Yeah! Oh, wait, let me add a better yeah here. Congratulations, Vampy, you killed Vlad. Or whoever the hell this guy is. Michael Myers? And that's pretty much the end, since Vampirella just gives a speech about remaining on Earth to fight evil, with the credits even promising a sequel, Death's Dark Avenger, that didn't end up happening. Because it debuted on TV, there's not really any box office numbers for this one, but one person who wasn't happy with how it turned out was director Jim Wynorski, who called it the one movie he regrets making. That's right, the director of A Doggone Christmas, Cobra Gator, and Attack of the 50-Foot Cam Girl says that this is the movie he wasn't happy with. Alright, look, don't get me wrong, this definitely ain't high art, even by the standards of low-budget Roger Corman TV movies, but there's a couple of enjoyable things here. Seeing Roger Daltrey hamming up a storm is pretty fun, and even if she isn't right for the part, Talisa Soto's still pretty sexy, although I really wish she got a better costume. Rumors about another Vampirella movie have been around for years, although so far nothing concrete's happened yet, and considering the sheer number of comic book movies out now, I'm a little surprised one hasn't happened yet. Well, maybe they still can't figure out how to make the costume work. Now that I've done a low-budget 90s superhero movie, next episode I think I'll do a big-budget one. Well, big-er. Well, that's all for now. Until next time.
Crap. Waste matter discharged from animal bowels.